Tuesday. Well, that was trying to be on my text. I'm good. She's not like that. I'd like to call to order the mayor and town council meeting for Tuesday, December 9th, 2025, in the Worcester County Government Center Boardroom, room 1102. I'd like to welcome everyone. We're so glad that you are here. Please stand for the salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. You may be seated. All right, if you take a look at our agenda, we have a proclamation for Chief McGee and the police officers in town, recognizing December's Blue Light Campaign in honor of fallen police officers.
He's on.
Coming?
Yeah.
So at this time, will council members come on up, and Mr. Pollitt, would you join us? Come on up front. I'll get you out.
He's right.
He's better. You know it's coming?
Yeah.
Okay, this evening, we have a proclamation expressing the support of the town of Snow Hill, Maryland for the annual Project Blue Light campaign, honoring the memory and sacrifice of police officers across our land who have lost their lives keeping their communities safe. Whereas in 1989, Mrs. Dolly Craig wrote to the Concerns of Police Survivors, the COPS, organization, informing them that she would be putting 2 blue candles in her living room window that holiday season in memory of her late son-in-law, Daniel Gleason, who had been killed in the line of duty while serving with the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Police Department, and his wife, Pam, who had been killed in an automobile accident that same year. And whereas this organization, COPS, adopted this idea as a way for everyone to honor the officers who serve and protect us while remembering those who died in the line of duty. And whereas this annual practice is now known across the United States as Project Blue Light and has reached millions of Americans as a way for communities to recognize and appreciate the ultimate sacrifice given by so many men and women for our safety and comfort. And whereas just in the year 2024, data shows that 147 federal, state, county, municipal, military, tribal, and campus officers were killed in the line of duty, a tragic increase of 25% fatalities over the preceding year of 2023. And whereas the town of Snow Hill is enormously grateful for the dedication and professionalism brought to our community by the men and women of the Snow Hill Police Department, as evidenced by their recent recognition by the annual Community Policing Report, which stated our police department serves as a wonderful model and clearly demonstrates a strong understanding of best practices in community policing for an agency and community of your size and demographics. And whereas it is the intention of the town of Snow Hill to express our deepest support and respect for the service and sacrifices of our law enforcement officers and their colleagues across the land by participating in the Project Blue Light campaign. Now therefore, I, Janet T. Simpson, Mayor of the town of Snow Hill, do hereby proclaim that the memory of fallen police officers across our nation's communities should be acknowledged with honor and respect, especially during this season of family and faith, and have declared that the windows of the town hall be decorated by candles bearing a blue light in support of this noble cause. I further call upon the residents and businesses of Snow Hill to join us in this community display of support by placing blue candles in your own windows throughout the holiday season. Proclaim this 9th day of December 2025, attested by Rich Pollock and myself, Janet T. Simpson. So everything you do, congratulations. Yeah. Please. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, we've got another one coming up here. At this time, would Judge Farlow come forward? So guys, you can District Court, yes. Certificate of commendation presented to the Honorable Mike Farlow for the outstanding contributions and public service to the town of Snow Hill as chair of the Charter Review Committee. Whereas Mike Farlow, a stellar citizen of the community of Snow Hill, Maryland, has served for more than 3 years as the chair of our town government's Charter Review Committee, donating countless hours of volunteer time to advising and coaching our citizen committee on methods to update and improve the structure of our local government. And whereas Mike Farlow has a long-established reputation for unselfish community service by virtue of his work in volunteer firefighting, Lions Club, and numerous other community organizations, in addition to balancing a successful career as an attorney and county prosecutor. And whereas Mike Farlow's remarkable career as a public servant and practitioner of the legal profession gained the attention of the Maryland Governor, Wes Moore, who recently appointed him to a seat on the District Court of Maryland, representing Worcester County. And whereas with his donning of the robes of judicial office, Judge Farlow must resign from his service on the Charter Review Committee, it is fitting and proper that the mayor and council and citizens of Snow Hill express our deepest gratitude to him for his many contributions to the future well-being of our town. Now, therefore, I, Janet T. Simpson, Mayor of Snow Hill, Maryland, on behalf of the town council and staff, do hereby recognize Mike Farlow as an extraordinary citizen of Snow Hill and offer him our heartiest congratulations on his pending judgeship, along with our deepest thanks for his tireless efforts in service to our community. We know that his career on the bench will prove to be every bit as successful as the years of service that accumulated in this outstanding achievement. Presented this day of the 9th day of December in the year 2025, attested by Rick Pollock and myself, Janet T. Simpson. So congratulations. There's a couple gifts for you. 2 books I can share with you. It's called The U.S. Constitution and Other Writings, and Speeches That Changed the World. So you're welcome. So enjoy. I'm sure you have to. Thanks again. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Mom. See you soon.
Congratulations.
Okay. Number 5, we have 2 sets of minutes We have November 4th, 2025 work session and November the 11th, 2025 regular meeting. Any additions or corrections have been sent to Candace, if you had any? Do I have a motion to accept both of those minutes?
I make a motion to accept both of the minutes.
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hearing no dissension, the minutes are approved. Okay, treasurer's report. Margaret, Councilperson Fletcher is not here this evening. So, Ms. Hampstead, do you have anything that you would like to add or?
I do not have anything to add, but I can read the ending balance in October and the beginning balance in November, and then if there's any questions, I'd be happy to.
Okay, please do.
So the ending balance in October was $4,203,172.53. And the ending balance in November is $4,311,063.08.
All right, council, do you have any questions?
I do.
Okay.
Down where it says police fines, it says $5. Is that a misprint?
Yeah.
They got
$5
$5
fines.
They are records release
Okay.
from one precinct to another. So when they request them, we give them update. It's a $5 charge.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Councilperson Lee? Okay, do I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer report.
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. Treasurer's report is approved. Okay, now let's go to the town manager's report. Mr. Pollak, do you have anything to add?
Not really.
Over?
It's a brief report, and the number of words on the page is briefer than you used to see, but it packs in an awful lot of activity, a lot of meetings going on. Just to follow up on one thing that made an impression on me a few weeks ago, I attended the annual meeting of the local government insurance trust. There was insurance providers for most of the county governments in the state. We had a very sobering report on cybersecurity and all of the potential risks that we're all under. We're not real careful with how we do provide for our security. So we followed up this morning with a staff meeting. We've made cybersecurity one of our highest priorities to make sure that we can assess what vulnerabilities we may have and try to plan accordingly because there's no limit to the mischief that could be done by people that are determined to try. So I want everyone to know we're taking that very seriously and we're going to be acting responsibly to shore up our own vulnerabilities and try to eliminate them when we can. And again, I'll just mention that I do have an appointment tomorrow with Carl Anderton from the Maryland Department of Commerce in Cambridge during the MACO, Maryland Association of Counties Summer or Winter Conference to follow up on some funding requests that we have in with the governor's office.
Okay.
So I'll be reporting back on that.
All right, great. Sounds good. Council, do you have any questions for Mr. Pollak?
I do not.
Do not. All right, department reports, economic development. Ms. Davis?
Yes, nothing to add to the report.
Okay, any questions from council? That's good. Mr. Good? Good. Okay. Code enforcement, code stands. Brandon, we?
Just an update, we're finalizing the schedule for the comprehensive plan update. We're trying to coordinate that with some workshop meetings with the planning commission, generally to be set on the third and fourth Monday, along with their regular scheduled meeting. So I think we're in the final form of that schedule. So beyond that, we're still moving forward with think surveys in January, and looking forward to receiving their material and reviewing it.
Okay. Right. Council, questions? I would like to just add, thank you so much for the details that you have, that everyone in all the departments are adding. It gives us so much more information about what is going on in the town in all the particular areas. So, Ms. Dillis, thank you also. And I like that you put the report, from the historic district, meeting, and that how they voted on each one of the, agenda items. So that helps, an awful lot, especially when, council can't make those meetings or I can't make those meetings, it helps out. So, so hearing no questions, Public Works, Mr. Barfield,
I have nothing to add, Mayor.
nothing to add? Council. I just want to thank you and your department, your crew, for putting up all the lights, around town. I know that is a big, job, because you're so busy with everything else, but, the town looks great and really appreciate that, Randy.
You're welcome.
Okay. You have any questions for Mr. Barfield at all? Anything else? All right, water and wastewater treatment plant, Mr. Will.
I have nothing new to add to my report, but I'll answer any questions.
Okay. Council, questions for him? We're good? Thank you for all you do, and I know we're looking at our, capacity is still kind of hanging in there. That's a good thing. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's it. All right. Thank you.
Yes.
Grants administration, do you have anything to add?
Nothing further to add. We're very busy.
Okay.
But if
All right.
anybody has any questions, of course.
Questions?
I do about the legacy grant, the 6 new projects that were started.
Right.
What were some of those?
The handicap ramp, at the real estate office.
Okay.
Diana Nolte had a permanent, dehumidifier installed in her basement, because that's stock and stuff like that. The corner store at Hammond, that's one of the projects. The, Snow Hill Business Center, that was painted.
Okay.
What am I up here, what, one? Okay, we got toy store, coin shop, business center. One of them will be for the Stoltmans, have a prospective grant for, exhaust hood for a kitchen, because, they're trying to open that property on Washington there.
Okay.
Is that 5? What am I up to?
I think that's
So
fine.
I think that is, that's fine.
There's nothing.
Sounds good.
We got, yeah.
Oh,
Everybody's busy.
Yeah.
And then, the big project restore grant is
Yeah.
well underway on Green Street to, put the bookstore there next to the hobby shop.
Oh,
And it should be awesome. I do believe, I will be probably trying to get a short extension on that, just because there's been a few unforeseen holdups, but not a big deal. I already spoke to the people, and as a matter of fact, she offered an extension on what we were gonna try not to even do one, but it gives us a little breathing room, so. But it's not gonna take a long time. We're talking a few weeks, that's all we need.
Okay.
But everything's going well.
Okay. Thank you.
Regarding, meeting we had with the chief, what is the follow-up to that?
As of right now, we haven't had really much time to deal with it, because, with Ms. Divis coming on and, trying to, basically ramp up everything after Mr. McAllister left, we barely have a moment to breathe. So that I haven't had time to really do much of anything with that, especially since I'm inexperienced in what we were planning. So, it hasn't slipped away, but I haven't had time to deal with that yet.
All right, Julia A. Purnell Museum, we have an open house coming up.
Yes, that's the only thing I want to add to my report. We'd love to see you all Saturday, 1 to 3. We'd really love to support.
Okay, great.
Sounds great.
Council? Questions? You good?
Mhm.
Okay. Police department. Yeah, here it comes. Okay, chief, anything to add or to your report?
Nothing to add.
Okay. Questions for the chief?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know we've had a number, like a spate here of dog bites and dog attacks throughout the town. When somebody is attacked, their first step should be to call animal control or call you.
Call the police, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then we will call our animal control out, if we deem it necessary, so. As I said earlier, that we've had about 9 calls since September 1st about animals. 5 of those have been cats at large or, that needed to be rabies tested. And the remaining were 2 loose dog calls and the 2 animal bites, that we're investigating, so. In both of those cases, the dogs were, surrendered.
Is there any recommendation for citizens that you would make, given?
So we have a leash law in place through our code, and we're gonna have to start enforcing it. Unfortunately, we're seeing this, we've seen an increase, and any increase obviously, raises to a level of concern. And it's a $500 fine and 30 days in jail. So if you have a dog that's not leashed and it gets out, that's the fine that you're gonna face and the penalties that you're gonna face. So, if there's an attack or someone is injured, that ramps it up as well, so. And you could be civilly, liable for it, so,
Okay. In addition
in addition to all that.
all that. Okay.
Because I believe the Maryland law is up to $2,500 per dog that's.
Potentially could be medical costs,
As well.
pain and suffering and
Mhm.
everything that gets added to that stuff. We don't see it often. 6 years, this is the third attack that I know that's been reported to us. Unfortunately, people go to social media, and they assume that law enforcement's been notified, but what we're finding is law enforcement hasn't been called. And we just can't monitor, all the different pages, we're seeing it 4 or 5 days after the fact and then trying to track down those folks. So, if you know your neighbor's been injured or has an incident, just call us. If you're not bothering us, that's what we're here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good to know. All right. Thank you, chief. And finally, Savannah, would you like to give the Snow Hill High School report?
I'd love to.
Okay.
As we gather together during this festive and reflective time of year, our school is bursting with momentum and achievement, and we're excited to share the highlights of all the incredible work happening across our campus. As we move into the heart of winter, our attention turns to important academic milestones ahead. Over the next several weeks, students will showcase their learning on the semester 1 state tests administered through December and January. These assessments, Algebra 1, Government, Biology, and English 10, play a vital role in each student's graduation pathway. 2 of these exams, Algebra 1 and English 10, also determine college and career readiness, making this testing window especially meaningful. Students complete these digital tests on their iPads over multiple days, with 45 students testing in Algebra 1, Biology, and Government for a total of 160 minutes each. Our 55 English 10 students will engage in a more extensive 280-minute assessment due to its rigorous writing components. As always, we are confident that our Eagles will rise to the challenge and continue their strong record of achievement. Just as our students are working hard academically, winter athletics are off to an exciting start. Girls basketball returns with full JV and varsity squads and aims to defend their title as 1A East Region champions, and boys basketball also fielding JV and varsity teams. Is determined to make another deep playoff run after reaching the regional final last season. Wrestling has seen significant growth and enthusiasm, with the co-ed team building on last year's historic 15-6 season, and the girls wrestling team entering its 2nd year after sending 3 athletes to the state tournament in its debut. In total, 50 Eagles are competing on the wrestling mat this winter. Our boys and girls indoor track teams continue to draw strong interest and look to bring home standout performances across multiple events. Meanwhile, the Unified Lifting Program is expanding after a successful first year, further strengthening inclusive athletic opportunities for all students. Beyond athletics, our after-school academy remains one of the brightest spots of our school community. As session one wraps up, participation has grown to an impressive 153 students, representing 40% of our total enrollment. Looking ahead, we're thrilled to begin session two with an exciting addition. Thanks to a partnership between the Worcester County Public Schools and MSDE Drivers Education, we will now be offered free of charge for all participating students. Families will provide a $25 deposit, which will be fully refunded upon program completion, and will attend a meeting at Snow Hill High School on December 16th. The After School Academy continues to offer valuable enrichment opportunities, including cooking club, tutoring in all subjects, stock market game, and weightlifting. These programs support both academic growth and personal development, giving students a safe and encouraging space to explore new skills and interests. Our counseling department remains dedicated to preparing students for life after high school. Recent schooling's lessons have helped students explore college and career options while beginning a long-term planning. Seniors had an exciting opportunity during Salisbury University's on-site admissions day, where many met directly with admissions representatives and received same-day decisions. Our FAFSA completion day also provided essential guidance for students and families beginning the financial process. Looking ahead, we are eagerly preparing for our December 12th career fair, which will bring more than 20 businesses and community partners to Snow Hill High School. This event will give students meaningful exposure to a variety of career paths and local opportunities. Snow Hill High School is proud of the incredible work happening across our academic programs, athletic teams, and student support services. We remain committed to helping every Eagle grow, achieve, and soar. Thank you to the Snow Hill Town Council and our community for continued support of our students, staff, and school communities.
All right, thank you. You're so proud. Okay, so we're at unfinished business, and we have an award bid for the demolition of the unsafe building at 301 Willow Street, which is an action item. Attorney Howarth, do you want to add anything?
No, I don't know if Brandy wants to add anything. Looks like the bid is in the package.
What is it?
The bid is $9,000. 450. That was the lowest bid.
Guess what? So.
Okay. Any questions from council on that?
Mayor, I want to share with you and my colleague. I received an up-to-the-date texts and emails regarding that book. The demolition. I don't know how I voted previously. Do you recall?
It could be
what
in the
vote was?
could be in the November minutes.
For the demolition, it should be. I think you voted. Wow, I saw all these as voting for. In the work session.
It might have been in the work session after these two meetings.
The November 4th meeting had Councilmember Lee suggesting a certified letter and close it out after 2 weeks, and then that was confirmed at the meeting last week
Okay.
with consensus.
I'm not gonna make an issue out of why, but I'm going to vote supporting community concerns about this building, about this construction. And it goes back for some time, what we've tried to do with that building over the years. And it's been a part of, and I think I've said this, it's been a part of a strategy. Letting buildings run down, and we know what that's about, what it leads to. So I'm not certain, I was asked how I voted before, and that's why I raised that. But I will not be voting in the favor of that.
I actually made a few posts on Facebook about this because I wanted people to know what was going on. And, I had a couple countdowns, so there were 3 posts, giving everybody an update that, unless you have, if anybody had the money or the will to show up and please reach out to us. About emails and everything like that. And there were some great ideas. One guy wanted to turn it into a haunted house, for Halloween. Somebody wanted to put a museum in there about how this is how people survived in the town. This is how life was. And they're all great ideas. The problem is that we don't have the money to bring that building anywhere close up to code, raise it 3 feet off the ground because it's in a floodplain. It's become a public nuisance. A lot of the comments I got were, why is it even considered historic? It's only built in the 1920s. In a town with houses that were built in the 1760s, you can see how some people might feel that way. It's about perspective. And so a lot of the comments I got were all aimed at solutions that we don't have the money to do. And I also tried to reach out to a number of companies, like architectural salvage companies and places like that. E.T. Moore in Richmond, 3B out of Ohio for wood salvation to save us the $9,500 on the demolition. They all told me no, thank you. So did Second Chance Incorporated out of Baltimore. So did Homeworks out of Baltimore. So did Reclamation out of Annapolis. Everybody's told me the same thing. It's just really not what we're interested in. So if we don't have the money to remediate the firehouse, we sure can't do anything with this building. In the interest of getting rid of public blight on our streets, and I believe it has won the award for the most derelict building in town, I'm voting to demolish it because it does have one of our pump stations on it. We need access to that pump station. Whoever is going to come in there is going to have to allow us to put cranes in their parking lot to fix engines and things in our pump stations, which we need to provide y'all with clean drinking water. So I'm in favor of demolishing it. It's had its time. Everybody comes in at the 9th hour when we finally, we're going to demolish it. And it's like, nobody showed up with a business plan. This thing's been going downhill for 20, 30 years. And now at the last minute, everybody's like, I got this idea, I got that. That's fine, but where was that idea 5 years ago? Where was that initiative, 2 years? At this point, we're just spinning our wheels. So I moved to let's just demolish it.
Okay, so do I have a motion to award the bid?
I make a motion to award the bid.
Do I have a second? So there is, okay. There's not a second. If there's a tie in the vote?
There's no vote or no, don't have a second.
Don't have a second.
Could I ask procedurally, if the mayor has a vote in the event of a tie, can the mayor also second a motion?
Mayor can only vote in the instance of a tie.
So that's why we need more people on the council.
Could I just make one comment for the record?
Yes.
We, as you all know, have in the last year or so tried to be much more proactive and aggressive in our code enforcement. It's very difficult for us to approach a private property owner in town with a violation of the building code when we have under our own control one of the worst spots in town. And we've had complaints about it being an eyesore, about it being a gathering place for nefarious activities, by the structurally soundness. And part of the conversations that have gone through the different discussions that we've had about that property are our obligation to keep the property safe and to be aware of the impact on property values around it. But again, my biggest concern is if we're gonna go out here and force the zoning code and property upkeep code on it, residents.
And we're
It's
on
pretty tough when we're our
Our
own
own
worst
building.
violator.
this violation. So do you have any response to that?
None,
Do you
No
have a
comment.
reason for not voting for it?
yes.
Okay, can you tell me again? Please repeat.
Systematically and almost programmatically. In cases of gentrification, in cases of changing communities and taking advantage of communities, I know this process of letting us sit there and do nothing until it falls down and we get what we want has been a strategic plan, not here in Snow Hill as such, national. So it's hard for me when over the many years of discussion of this very building that I have participated in to try to save that building and restore that building, that there was no effort on the part of the town government to support that movement, not only by myself, but others in this town. And that's some of the people who are contacting me now. So I find it very difficult to listen to the rhetoric of where we are in the moment, reactionary. I argue for, and am arguing for, a plan that not necessarily on this particular piece of property, but to develop with the town, and it's a hard sell, I will tell you, for acknowledgement and stabilization of our community. We're getting there from my perspective, but it's some strong headwinds. And I understand and respect the fact that that building is an eyesore. I respect the fact that it does demean the downtown decor or ambiance as you look at it. But when are we going to stop using excuses when we speak as a community for stabilization of our indigenous community, our Black community, our cultural aspect of growing Snow Hill, but then come in a crisis and all these whatever. So I find it hard, in particular, when people come to me and remind me of how we got here. Negligence on the part of government. And then we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. But it has been long standing. So do you want to hear from me? No, you really don't. So I prefer just to say that I will not vote in favor of it.
Well, Councilperson Fletcher said that she, at the last meeting, that she was in favor of it. So she's not here to do that at this evening.
I mean, we can table it, it ain't going anywhere. It's not like it's gonna get more derelict.
Do we have to wait till January to have another vote on this at a town meeting, or can we have a special?
It's good. I mean, it's been there for 30 years.
Okay.
Thanks for getting the quote, Randy.
Okay, so do we have a motion to table the bid?
I make a motion to table it.
Do I have a second on that?
I think all the council should have a chance to weigh in.
So we'll just put it on the agenda for the next meeting. Okay, all right, new business. Let's go to that. Resolution number 2025-7. Adopting an annexation plan for properties along Colburn Lane. Attorney Howard, do you want to speak to this? We got quite a bit of documentation in the packet, and we have had this at a work session.
Correct. You had this at your last work session. So this is a resolution adopting the annexation plan for the properties on Colburn Lane. The mayor and council have received the annexation petition filed by itself for annexation of the town of Snow Hill's water well located on Colburn Lane, specifically tax map 63, parcel 177. Also with the consent of the Board of Education for the Snow Hill Middle School, Cedar Chapel School, which is tax map 200, parcel 1708. Snow Hill Elementary School, tax map 63, parcel 144. Also with the consent of Donna and Charles Bowen at 410 Colburn Lane. As you guys know, there's a very small corner of their property that's not in the town limits. That's tax map 201, parcel 1711, and also Colburn Lane between Market Street and the town of Snow Hill municipal limits. The petition's been verified by the mayor and council. And all the owners I just mentioned are the sole owners of the properties in question. The mayor and council has determined the land to be annexed is contiguous to and binding upon the corporate limits of the town of Snow Hill. The town is required to adopt an annexation plan per the state law. So now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of Snow Hill that the annexation plan in the attachment exhibit A, that's the packet that the mayor just referenced, prepared by Dan for you all, you saw at your last work session, is adopted for the following land: tax map 63, parcel 177, Snow Hill Middle School and Cedar Chapel School, tax map 201, parcel 1708, Snow Hill Elementary School, tax map 63, parcel 144, 410 Colburn Lane, tax map 201, parcel 171, part of lot 1, approximately 0.027 acres, in Colburn Lane between Margaret Street and the town of Snow Hill municipal limits. All are contiguous and binding upon the corporate limits of the town of Snow Hill. And then the packet of all the required information that Dan has prepared. This plan, once you guys are adopted, has to be sent to all the state and local planning agencies for their review and comment. Okay. Any questions, additional?
No.
Okay. So I have a motion to accept resolution number 2025-7.
I make a motion to accept resolution 2025-7.
Do I have a second? Second? Do you have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 2025-7 is passed. All right, now we have charter amendment resolution 2025-8 for the annexation of properties along Colburn Lane and establish a date for a public hearing.
So besides just adopting the annexation plan, this is what I call your annexation resolution, which would what you're going to use to actually annex the property. Ultimately, it's required to be introduced. So it's sort of like an ordinance, and whereas tonight you're going to introduce this annexation resolution, you're going to set the public hearing. You'll have the public hearing, and then you can pass this annexation resolution. But that is all after all the agencies can look at your annexation plan. It's after your public hearing. So tonight is just the annexation of this charter amendment resolution, which is actually annexing the land we just talked about. So the mayor and council, let me back up. Pursuant to local government 44021, the mayor and council of Snow Hill is initiating, proposing to annex into the town of Snow Hill a certain area of land consisting of 46.26 acres, more or less contiguous to and binding upon the south and southwest corporate limits of the town of Snow Hill, bounded on the east and southeast by tax map 201, parcel 710, south by tax map 63, parcel 21, west by Maryland Road 394, and north by a portion of tax map 201, parcel 1708. The mayor and council of Snow Hill is the petitioner for the annexation, as it's the owner of the property tax map 63, parcel 177, and is one of the 4 properties involved in the annexation. 2 of the 4 properties are owned by the Board of Education. They have also consented to the annexation. The 4th property is Donna and Charles Bowen, tax map 201, parcel 1711, lot 1, locally known as 410 Colburn Lane. It's 0.027 acres of lot 1 southmost corner. Is not in municipal limits, and the Bowens also consent to that annexation. The mayor and council of Snow Hill also wishes to annex Colburn Lane between Market Street and the town of Snow Hill municipal limits, as it bisects the town Board of Education properties. With all the property owners involved consenting to the annexation, the petition meets the requirements that at least 25% of the registered voters and 25% of the assessed valuation of the real property in the area to be annexed have consented to the annexation. Petition for annexation meets all the requirements of the law. The purpose of the annexation is to include all the properties that I've just named to you. All the properties are served by the town of Snow Hill water and wastewater. Thus, this annexation will not affect the town of Snow Hill's water and wastewater treatment plant or require any more EDUs. The current zoning of the properties in the county is R1, and the mayor and council of Snow Hill proposed a new zoning to also be R1 and R2, and the R2 is for lot 1 only to match its current zoning. This is for adding the Colburn Well property to allow the town of Snow Hill to seek grant funding for the property, adding tax map 201, parcel 1711, part of lot 1, that 0.027 acres for the Bowens allows their entire property to be in the town limits. The planning commission met on Monday, December 1st, and upon review endorsed this annexation request and recommended approval of the zoning changes that are identified in section 2. So now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of Snow Hill that is hereby proposed and recommended that the boundaries of the town of Snow Hill be changed and section 3 of the town charter be amended so as to annex and include within the town of Snow Hill all that certain area of land together with the persons residing therein and their property contiguous to and binding upon the town's south and southwest corporate limits.
Okay.
Then you'll see the legal description.
Yeah.
The very long legal description that we have from our
Yes.
surveyor. So then, be it further resolved by the mayor and council of Snow Hill, the subject properties to be annexed shall have the following zoning classifications. All of them will be R1, except the Bowens property that's R2 today, so their small portion is gonna remain R2. Then section 3, be it further resolved by the mayor and council of Snow Hill that a public hearing on the annexation plan proposed to be held on January 20th at 5:30 p.m. in this building, this room. Upon a public notice of the time and place of said hearing has to be published no fewer than 4 times and no less than weekly intervals in a newspaper of general circulation in the town. And it has to accurately describe the proposed annexation and the conditions and circumstances of it. And then the following section 4 or 5, those relate to later down the path when we actually, after we have the public hearing. So that's the summary of the introduction of the annexation resolution.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Do I have a motion to, for the resolution number 2025-8?
I make a motion to accept resolution 2025-08.
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. All right, so the resolution has passed.
Pass for introduction.
For introduction only.
Thank you, Warren.
Okay, C, adoption of 2026 holiday schedule. Everybody have that in your packet? Any questions on that? No? All right. Do I have a motion to accept the adoption of the 2026 holiday schedule?
I make a motion to accept the schedule for 2026.
Okay, do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. Okay, the holiday schedule for 2026 is adopted. Okay, now comments from the public. Okay, here we go. Okay, all right, we have Carol Jenkins Pike. You come up front and give your address. And you can move the mic to you if you need to.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, and everyone here tonight. Who else is listening on the screen? My name is Carol Jenkins Pike. I live at 207 West Martin Street. And I have resided in Snow Hill for 16 years. And obviously, I have a story that is related to the dog incidents that Chief McGee was just speaking about. And it's very emotional for me to speak about it tonight. I'm not a public speaker. I was in England for my father's funeral and his passing when this incident that I'm going to speak about happened. And I'm just going to do a little bell here because I can. So my husband, Timothy Pike, was walking our 13-year-old dog down Belt Street, as he usually did, and 3 pit bulls came out of a yard and brutally attacked my Daisy. I was not there, I was in England. They were let out of the gate into a public place. He tried to save her. He got bitten all up his arm here and hands, and he's only just gained the use back of his hands, and this was in October the 25th. I am very emotional about it because I returned to England, from England, with no dog at home. And if you are a dog lover, you know how that can be, a very quiet house with no little pitter-patters. And it was a dog, 3 dogs that came at her. There were 4 in the household. 4. So I'm not blaming dogs. I love dogs. And it's the irresponsibility of the owner and the lack of integrity that they would open the gate. I don't even know about the fence, whether it was even up to code for 4 pit bulls. But they let the animals out. And what chance did she have to survive with that mentality? So I'm asking for people to use leashes. If they know the dogs are somewhat a little aggressive, use muzzles on them. But don't please open the door or gate and let the dog out. I have walked in Snow Hill for 12 years with Daisy. 12 years.
Let me see, Carol.
No. Now, I've heard from other people that have been several people who've been attacked by dogs, and other people who are carrying bear spray, just to walk their dogs. And I've heard of parents who the children are telling them they're fearful to walk home because they see dogs on leashes on a pole and they could up and run away. They also see dogs that are just roaming. Okay, so we have to take an awareness here and do something because I miss my Daisy. It could be, what will it take, Snow Hill? Before a child is either mauled or is killed by a dog. And then we won't be on WBOC for a wonderful community. I love this town.
Okay, Carol, finish up.
Okay, thank you. So I really want to see some action. And please, let's all do that together.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Dr. Hogan, Casanello?
Hello,
Hi.
Mayor and Council.
Address?
105 North Washington Street.
Okay.
I just want to stand up alongside Carol. We lost our dog a couple of years ago and I run. And just within the past year, I had 2 pit bulls just run down the street at me barking. I run with, mace and an air horn. And luckily, they backed off with the air horn. But what would a child have done, or someone that started running or knew, or didn't know not to make eye contact? I know people who've broken hips, had concussions from friendly dogs rushing them on their bike or while they're walking. It doesn't have to be a bad dog. It can be a dog that's just happy that it causes an accident. And I'm wondering, other than calling police and knowing that there's a fine, maybe there can be a public effort to educate the public, educate dog owners. I feel the same way about helmet wear. You know, these are just public safety issues. And if we leave it to acting upon it after bad things happen, maybe we can be proactive instead of waiting for those bad events to happen. I'd be happy to be a part of either of those, helmet wear, safe biking, and all.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's all. Okay, council comments. Let's go to Councilperson Lee, comments for this evening.
Yes, first I want to respond to, what was your name?
Carol.
Carol? Yeah. Yeah.
Hogan.
Yeah. I think that's very serious. I hear you. The question is, you know, what do you do? You know, it's a kind of, I like your suggestion, maybe community awareness. I think one of the things that we lack in Snow Hill is coming together to have conversations. But when we do, they're powerful. They're very, very powerful. It's a way to get something done. Let me encourage both of you to come back to the mayor and council with a recommendation and request to help facilitate that. So I would recommend for you to get the job done is have a plan of action that you see. Because many times what happens, and rightfully so, citizens have problems that are political matters that relate to the township is where they should come. I think that it would be you would get a better response with coming with the complaint with an action plan. And that's what I hear lacking, if I may, it's not a question that I believe you would have full support of the mayor and council, and that certainly I will. First, I kind of got emotional in your bag. First, also, before I make some comments that I had jotted here, I want to wish each and every one of you who are here and each and every one of you who are listening, happy holidays. It's that time of year, and I don't know where you are and what's taking place with you, but it's a time to let go and I'm gonna leave that where it is. So happy holidays to each of you. I want to celebrate the visit of Secretary Flora to Snow Hill last week or whatever date it was. She did an outstanding job, and those whom I spoke to who attended that session were greatly impressed with her and the information that she shared. What you may want to know is that she didn't have to do what she did. Here's the Secretary of the state of Maryland that comes to Snow Hill. The question that I wanted to share with you the reason what I believe why so many people are interested in Snow Hill is because the jewel that it is. And it is a great place to live. And I have been advocating and will continue to advocate because I feel that that's what I'm called to do, to bring us together so that we can have conversations of change and improvement. I want to thank each and every one of those who did attend and those who have asked for a follow-up, and there will be a follow-up to that meeting. I will use the resources that I have to inform the community as best as I can, so that we can continue to prepare for the comprehensive plan. Because that's what her coming to Snow Hill was really all about. Preparing us for the comprehensive plan so that we can stop talking about what we want to do and develop a plan of action that's going to lead us to where we want to go. So, but I'm going to say this to those who are primarily watching, because those of you who are here are activists on whatever the issue, and you're in the House. But if you out there and in here fail to follow up in developing Snow Hill's action plan for change using the information that the Secretary has given us, and then the comprehensive plan as the vehicle to get us there, we're going to continue delving in this black hole that we find ourselves lacking what the things that we want to accomplish. So again, I want to thank you. Happy holidays.
Councilperson Lumpkins.
Yes, thank you, Carol, for coming here and sharing your story. I loved the Christmas parade last night. It was beautiful. Everybody who worked on that, thank you so much. Also, Town Hall, thank you for all your hard work. I really appreciate it. Happy holidays to you.
I want to thank citizens of Snow Hill. I have always had great faith and love for the citizens of Snow Hill. They rally. They're a small town, and we take care of each other. And that's what we've always done for a long, long time. I grew up here, and that's kind of our theme. And we are a gem of a town. The Christmas parade, thank you, Chief, for policing and carrying us through, even though it was cold weather, carrying mayor and council through the parade. And it was like 68 units, I think, and it was well attended, and we didn't have any problems at all in the town. I want to thank the staff also. You are, again, the worker bees. You are the ones who prepare for our meetings. You have all the work, and you will be also a very, very important part of our comprehensive plan, because you are the experts along with the citizens, and we want you involved every step of the way. So I just want to say to everybody, and we're glad to have Mayor Pruitt here with us tonight also, happy holidays and be safe out there. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Motion is adjourned. I mean, the community.